The largest piece of it is driven by Macau, but I do want to point out that Macau did have the benefit of some higher than normal hold percentage, but even on a hold adjusted basis, they still did beat our number, which was higher than consensus. But Singapore also did well. They did well across the board in all three segments.
The Las Vegas numbers were a little bit better, too. And I keep going back, David, to an interview that I did a few months ago with Jim Chanos, who was very negative on these names. He was worried about the U.S.-China trade fight and them getting caught in the middle. And he was also worried about the fact that Las Vegas numbers were not showing the kind of growth days that they used to. Millennials not going to Vegas. What's actually going on there?
Well, look, what's going on in Vegas is that, pricing power has been harder and harder to come by, for sure. But from a supply and demand dynamic, from an economic perspective, the market is still very, very healthy. And in the context of Las Vegas Sands, we should point out that it is by far the smallest of their segments. And the stock is much more driven by their Asian business, particularly Macau.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you listening for on the call, David? Of course, Sheldon Adelson is going to be an area of focus, and leadership more broadly across the industry at the moment is of interest.
It absolutely is. So what we will be focused on, number one, is we were over in the Macau market in mid-March, and we got the sense that the economy in China was stabilizing, and that market, as a result, the Macau market, is inflecting. And so we came back, we made the call, we actually upgraded Wynn Resorts, we raised our numbers here on Las Vegas Sands, and made the call that we think throughout the course of this year, the market is going to accelerate, and we raised our GGR estimate for the market by double to 10% from 5%. We'll be listening on the call, yes, as you point out, to see if Mr. Adelson is on board. He was not last time. And that's important. And as you point out that, yes, there's a leadership transition or fluidity going on across the top end of the space that includes MGM with some activism. It includes Caesars, who named a new CEO this week. It includes, Steve Wynn, who is, no longer involved with that company. And it just raises some interesting questions about the direction and the complexion of these companies and how they'll grow going forward.
Yeah, what are the implications of that sort of generational shift that seems to be going on in the industry? Are we talking about consolidation, some other kinds of rationalization here?
Look, I think the one critical question for us, whether it's Las Vegas Sands, whether it's Wynn, whether it's MGM, it is what their growth trajectory is going to look like. Because, what we're talking about are iconic leaders who were certainly the chief visionary, chief diplomat within those companies. They were able to pursue licenses in new markets and frankly, envision the empires that they've built. And now that they're not here, what will these companies become, I think, is a fair question.